In the battle to pick the best mid-size diesel sedan, we took a long, hard look at how the four cars fared on different parameters. However, when it came to picking one over the other between the Fiesta and the Hyundai Verna, it called for a good old get-together.
First impressions about the Fiesta, Kaka. I love the way it rides.
Yeah, it rides very well and looks great.
I'll agree with Kaka, it looks great. However, size-wise, personally, I feel a little disappointed.
Yeah, it is a little cramped at the rear.
Yes, it is a little cramped at the rear, especially compared to all the other three cars in the shootout. Looks great as well, better in the flesh than the pictures, but on the inside, quality of the plastics is a little suspect.
Especially for a car that costs this much. It's definitely something that could have been avoided.
It's also got a lot of things going for it in terms of that space age fascia and a lot of things good
really
stuff.
modern.
But trying to get my hand to work the wheel, to recline my seat, that's quite a...
For a car that costs 10 lakh rupees, that's a big money, isn't it? What about the Verna, guys?
Brilliant looking car, I must say. I think it stands out as the best looking car in this segment on Indian roads today. Great equipment wise, is a rocket in a straight line, but doesn't handle.
Yeah. But then for a family sedan, you probably don't really need it to handle that sharply.
So far you made a very categorical statement. The family sedan necessarily doesn't have to handle that well.
Yeah.
But I tend to differ on that point because you need that special handling in an absolute emergency.
That's true.
All emergency maneuvers with all the family inside, I want a good handling car. Whether I use it or not is another issue.
Yeah.
So from that point of view, I think the Fiesta has the edge over the Hyundai, or everybody else has the edge over the Hyundai. But as he very rightly said, in a straight line, she's amazing, and fuel economy is mind-boggling at 24 kilometers per liter.
In terms of a package, can we pick our top two cars from the four?
I'll have to go with the Verna, the new Verna, and for just the whole sake of being a driver's car and having driven it so much and enjoying each and every moment that I've driven it, I'd pick the Vento.
Cool. What about you, Rishabh?
Well, I knew that you said that earlier, but for a driver's car, definitely the Vento, but all round, I would go with the Verna.
Right. Kaka?
I would rather drive the SX4 and be more comfortable and be more planted on the road.
Right. For me, on number two, it has to be the Fiesta. I'm surprised nobody picked it. It's so much fun to drive, and the eyeballs that you get on the streets are quite amazing.
I'm really quite surprised you even fit in there, actually, with your
I
side.
do. Yeah, I don't know who else will fit at the back after that, but it's quite a stunner. Leave the pricing alone, but...
You can't leave the pricing alone. Yeah, the pricing is a bit of a no-brainer.
Yeah, true. But I think if you consider the pricing, my number one would definitely be the SX4. It's still a fantastic value for money car. Offers so much space, offers so much practicality. So those would probably be the top two for me. But for the final verdict, of course, we all know who we're going to call on. Let's get Adil on board for the definitive verdict.
Before getting Adil on board, let's take a quick look at how much of a dent these four diesel sedans will put in your wallet. The Maruti Suzuki SX4 is a car clearly aimed at the sensible and practical family owner looking to reduce his running costs. Priced between 7.79 lakh and 8.67 lakh, it's also the least expensive car in this class. Ford Fiesta, on the other hand, is a young, youthful car aimed to satisfy the needs of the younger lot. Priced at 9.27 lakhs to 10.42 lakhs, it's also the priciest car in the segment. Hyundai's Verna, on the other hand, is all about being in the lap of luxury in this segment. Pegged between 8.74 lakhs all the way to 10.4 lakhs, it's a car that seems to appeal not just to the heart, but also to the wallet. And finally, the Volkswagen Vento. Good drivability and a very tempting price tag of 8.19 lakhs to 9.43 lakhs makes this car a very competent package. Now, as we promised earlier, time to get Editor-in-Chief Adil on board for a final conclusion as well as his top picks.
These sorts of saloons which we have got here in the brand from about 8 lakhs to 11 lakhs is really a meaty part of the Indian automotive industry today. And all these four cars are representative of the best from their manufacturers. As far as making a buying decision is concerned, I think if you are looking at an all-round performer which is proven, reliable, is spacious, handles well, also easy on the wallet, my vote would first and foremost go to the Suzuki SX4. Probably a car which never did well with the petrol engine version because it was very thirsty. The advent of the new diesel within its confines has totally given it the essence which it needed to really climb up. If you look at the Vento is pure Volkswagen but very bland. Does brilliantly well, mind you, one of the most spacious cars of the lot. Along with the Verna, it's got the 1.6-liter engine. So it's got cubic capacity, it's got space, it's got performance also to a certain degree. But at the end of the day, the looks are a little bland both within and outside. Typical Volkswagen family looks. Move on across to the Ford. Very, very involving driver's car. I really love it. But I'm sure my family wouldn't because it's cramped at the rear. It doesn't what you call deliver the space compared to its other rivals in this class. And anyway, it's frighteningly the most costliest car of the quartet. So in any sense, if you are driver focused, the Fiesta has got to be your car. Brings us to the Verna. The most stunning and the most appealing from a visual point of view, inside and out. Even though in the interior, there could be a little bit of apprehension over materials used. But by and large, overall, this car is the real deal. It has got Euro styling, stunning to behold from the outside, has got a good engine, very well matched to its transmission. But the most important thing is, it does brilliantly well for the family as well as for the owner-driver. What probably it will not be good at is trying to match the Fiesta in its dynamic behavior at the high end of the velocity scale. If I had to pick two cars, at one end of the spectrum, my vote would go for the SX4. And at the other end of the spectrum, I'll look at the Hyundai Verna for sure.
So there you have it. 4 diesel cars that appeal on 4 very different levels to the mid-size sedan buyer. We've picked our top choices, the cars that we think deserve your hard-earned money. Time for you to pick yours.